Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our broadcast today. And here, my name is Chidiman. Here with me is Nurse Gift. Nurse Gift, say hello to the camera.
Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you people are doing great.
Okay. So today we all know that every Friday we come out here to discuss one topic or the other. So today we'll be talking about PID, and Nurse Gifts will be breaking it down for us from the meaning down to every aspect you need to know about PID. So Nurse Gifts, if I may ask, what is the meaning of PID?
Okay, thank you very much for that. PID, known as pelvic inflammatory disease, is one of the diseases of the female reproductive system, and it has really been so rampant that today we decided to talk about it. PID is a pelvic inflammatory disease. Is a pelvic inflammatory disease. It is a serious infection that affects the reproductive organs of a woman, such as the uterus, known as the womb, the fallopian tubes, or the ovary. I take it again. PID is a pelvic inflammatory disease or a pelvic inflammatory infection that affects the reproductive organs of women, such as the uterus, the ovaries, or the fallopian tubes.
Okay, that is nice. I hope we've all heard what she said. So we'll be taking note of everything. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. We'll get back to you. So Nurse Gift, what is the development of PID? How does it develop in the human body?
Okay, talking about the development of PID. PID develops when certain bacteria travels all the way from a woman's vagina to her reproductive organs. First and foremost, this bacteria comes into your body system through maybe having unprotected sexual intercourse. So when it now gets into your system, it travels from the vagina down to your reproductive organs, such as the your uterus, your fallopian tubes, or the ovaries. But first and foremost, this bacteria has to come into your body through one way or the other, maybe through sexual intercourse, unprotected sexual intercourse. Maybe you had a partner that has a particular infection. So when it now gets to your vagina, it will now start traveling, finding its way to your reproductive organs, such as the uterus, fallopian tubes, or your ovaries.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So let's take notes of these things she's mentioning. And another question here is, what are the causes of PID?
Okay, now moving forward to the causes of PID. PID can be caused as a result of long untreated bacterial infections. That's why we always tell people that whenever you have an infection, it's very, very pertinent enough for you to treat it. PID can be caused as a result of long untreated bacterial infections that travel all the way from your vagina to your reproductive organs. Then if you have this PID, there are some certain symptoms you might be noticing in your body system. Although we are coming to that, there are some certain changes you'll be noticing in your body system, maybe pains in your lower abdomen. And researchers has made us to know that over 1 million researchers have made us to know that over 1 million women are being tested with this PID, and at the end, over 100,000 suffer infertility because of this PID. Yes, researchers have shown that over 1 million women get PID, and over 100,000 suffer from infertility as a result of this PID. So that is why it's very, very pertinent enough that whenever you have an infection, you treat it. Because PID is just an accumulation of one or two different infections in your body system. When it now accumulates, it will now travel to your fallopian tubes. It can even end up causing scar tissues. Scar tissues tends to block your fallopian tube, thereby making it impossible for your eggs to travel, for implantation to take place in your uterus. So that's why it's very pertinent enough for you to be tested and treated whenever you have an infection.
Oh wow, that's a nice one. So we've heard what Nurse Gift told us, that whenever you see a sign of infection in your body, you should start taking your medication to avoid PID. So another question here is, what are the common signs of PID?
Okay, now moving on to the common signs and symptoms of PID. Well, do you know most people have PID and they will not even know? That is the short truth about it. Most women suffer PID, or most women have pelvic inflammatory diseases without even knowing that they have this PID, because PID may not really show itself at that time. Some people tend to maybe start seeing symptoms in a month, in 2 months, in 6 months, or in 1 year. So that is why it is pertinent enough for you to be tested and treated. Now, the common signs and symptoms of PID includes the following. 1, pain or tenderness within the abdominal region. Maybe as a woman, you now start feeling pains in your lower abdominal region. You are not in your menses, you are not in your ovulation, but whenever you touch your abdomen, there's this sharp pain you normally feel in your lower abdomen. That can be as a result of PID. Then another symptom is burning sensation or feeling of fever. Maybe you have this tingling sensation always all over your body. You're feeling your temperature is always high. You're having this tingling sensation, or you're feeling that something is running around your body. Know that this is another sign and symptom of PID. Then another sign and symptom is yellowish discharge from your vagina. Some women tend to have discharges from your vagina. You know, we women, we are not meant to be that dry, but there's a normal discharge a woman should have. But when it now starts becoming yellowish, that is when to tell you that there is a problem. And mind you, as a woman, there are healthy bacteria that are found in our vagina. These bacteria are acting as a defense system because they tend to try to fight away infection. So that's when so many people suffer yeast, because so many women now use soaps to even wash their vagina, thereby killing that healthy bacteria that is there. So when you've not killed that bacteria, the vagina doesn't have that strength again to resist infections. You understand? Yeah. So like I said, yellowish discharge from your vagina. So these things that I mentioned is some of the signs and symptoms of PID. Another signs and symptoms is irregular period or spotting. You're a person that you see your period normally, regularly, but at some point it started ceasing. Or you now start feeling spotting. Maybe you finish seeing ovulation, you finish seeing your menses, then you now get to know that you are still spotting. Maybe a little while you see blood stains in your panties. Just know that these are the common signs and symptoms of PID. And some people also tend to have rashes. You may start seeing abnormal rash within your body, maybe in your pubic areas. You might be seeing boils in your pubic areas. You might be seeing rashes all over your body. Maybe you wake up today, you open your armpit, you see one boil there. Your laps, you're seeing rashes all over there. These are signs and symptoms of PID. And like I said, you might get an infection or you might have PID, but you wouldn't know. We women, our body there's a way God created us. If a man gets an infection today, his body system is already telling him that, my guy, you've gotten an infection due to the symptoms you'll be having. He will start experiencing those symptoms immediately. But we women, it takes a longer time for us to start noticing that we have an infection in our system. You understand? So that is why it's good for you to be tested always, to check out your body. I always advise, check your body system regularly. And if you have an infection, treat it so it will not accumulate and cause this PID that will end up making you to suffer infertility tomorrow. When you now start looking for a child, you now find it difficult to have a child or conceive.
Okay, that's a very nice one. You've heard what Nurse Gift said. So you should take proper care of your body. You should know when things are not moving well in your system. Take note of these signs that she has mentioned and take proper care of yourself. Now, Nurse Gift, another question here is, how long does it take for PID to work,
or
to
to
start
start
reacting?
reacting to your
Yeah.
body. Okay, thank you very much for that question. Like I said earlier on, we women, our body system is being structured in a particular way. Our body system is quite different from that of the male. Okay, so PID takes a longer time. Let me shock you. You might have an infection. That infection will stay a year, 2 years, 3 years without even showing. Most people, they go for a pelvic scan, and when they come back, the result will show there's fluid in Port of Douglas, and they'll be like, how?
Wow.
I don't even feel anything, but you have an infection. Oh. But they'll tell you that I'm not feeling anything. I think I'm okay. But the text proved you wrong, that you have an infection. So infection of PID can take 2 months, 6 months, a year, even 2 to 3 years before it starts showing you some little signs and symptoms. And mind you, when it now starts showing you those signs and symptoms, it now means that it is now too much in your body system, that your body mechanism, your white blood cells, your defensive mechanisms are now slow, because we have the red blood cells, the white blood cells, the platelet, and the white blood cells helps our body to fight infection. So when this PID enters into your body system, what it does, it breaks down your defense mechanism. It breaks down your white blood cells. And when it breaks down your white blood cells, that is when you now start seeing the signs and symptoms. You now start seeing rashes, because the thing that is fighting against infection in your body is now weak, is now dead. The infection has suppressed it. That's why it is advised, whenever you're treating infection, you go for immune defense drugs that helps to develop or build up your immune system, because it is when your immune system is strong that your body can be able to fight off that infection. That's why when we're treating infection, we tell you to get your vitamin C 1000 milligrams, because it will help to develop your white blood cells so that it can be strong to fight off that infection. So PID can take 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years before it starts showing symptoms. Yes.
Okay, that's so nice. So whenever you see any reaction in your body that you don't understand, please rush down to the hospital to run a test.
Yes.
Or you can also send us a message. We have a product for that. So Nurse Gift, another question here is, who is at risk of PID? Is it everyone, both male and female, young and old?
Yes, everyone is at the risk of suffering PID. Everyone, nobody is exempted. Everyone. But it's just that PID is a disease of the female reproductive organ. A man can have an infection. You understand? But why it is called PID? Because it is a disease that is affecting the pelvic inflammatory. It's a pelvic inflammatory disease. When you're talking about pelvic, you're talking about the pelvis of a woman. It's a disease that comes from the vagina. So everyone is at risk of suffering any kind of infection, be you male or female. And also take note that PID is just an accumulation of 1 or 2 or more infections in your system. You see someone is suffering from gonorrhea, a woman is suffering from gonorrhea, a woman is suffering from chlamydia, a woman is suffering from candidiasis, a woman is suffering from staphylococcus aureus. All this whole infection will come together. They'll be like, my brother, oh, I've not seen my brother. All of them will come, join hands together, go into your fallopian tube. They can go into your fallopian tubes and cause what we call scar tissue. Like, it will just go and block that your fallopian tube. Nothing will just be going in there. It will just cease. The function will just cease. So complications, or people that are at risk of suffering this, is everybody, even the female, everybody, even a man can have 1 or 2 infections in his system. You understand?
Yeah.
Can have 1 or 2 infections in his system. So as a female, it is very, very pertinent enough that we treat infection whenever we notice that we have an infection, to avoid further complications.
Okay, thank you, Nurse Gift, for this. So we've heard that be it a male or a female can also contract this PID. So let's take note of our body system, know when you are healthy and when you are not, so you will go and run a test. Then another question here, Nurse Gift, what are the complications of PID?
Yes, the complications of PID. Now, let me shock you. The longer you have PID, the more complications you get. The longer you have an infection, the more complications you get. As a man, you're having Staphylococcus aureus and you leave it untreated. It will just, the infection will just say, oh, Oga, you leave me here, no wahala now. It will just go and be causing problems for you. It can end up causing erectile dysfunction for the man. It can end up causing low sperm count. It can end up causing azoospermia. It ends up destroying your body system. You understand? Then coming to the woman, if the complications you are likely to get from this PID is what we call scar tissue. Scar tissue is a kind of thing that goes to your fallopian tube to block it. It blocks the passage by which spermatozoa will travel and deposit egg in your uterus. So it causes scar tissues there and it blocks it. Then as a woman, it can also end up making you to have what you call ectopic pregnancy. It can end up making you suffer what we call ectopic pregnancy, a pregnancy growing outside of the uterus. You understand? Then another thing that it can also cause is infertility. A whole lot of women are suffering infertility today as a result of this PID. Having PID alone is enough to suffer infertility. You understand? Because when something goes and destroys your reproductive organs, it destroys your reproductive organs. For you to get pregnant will be very difficult, because as it is destroying your reproductive organs, it is destroying your hormones. It is just scattering everything. Your estrogen, your progesterone, your androgen, your follicle stimulating hormone, everything is being scattered. And for you to get pregnant, you need to treat the infection and also balance your hormones. Some people will tell you, I am lactating, but I'm not pregnant, so I'm not giving birth.
Breast milk.
Yes, breast milk is coming out of my breast. Then low sexual. Yes, another thing I forgot to say, it causes another complication. It can cause you low sexual drive. Yes, low sexual drive. It causes that. You may not even have the feelings of doing anything. If your husband touches you, be like, please leave me alone. I'm not tired. Another thing, painful sexual intercourse. Even if your guy tries to find his way in, you start having painful sexual intercourse. So infertility is another complications of PID. Infertility. If you know that you don't want to suffer infertility tomorrow, try to treat every infection as it comes. And mind you, it's not every infection that you get through sexual intercourse. Some persons will tell you that, why am I having Staphylococcus aureus? I've not had any sexual intercourse for the past 1 year, this and that. These things can be gotten from the environment. Even as a health worker, even as a medical doctor, even as a nurse, Staphylococcus aureus is one of nosocomial infections that we are likely to get. That is why it is advised, after handling syringes and needles, after handling drugs, it's very pertinent enough you wash your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds with a good disinfectant, so that you clear up those germs, because you can get Staphylococcus aureus from your environment with the use of needles, syringes, and all of that. So these are the common complications of PID.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope you are all listening. If you have any question for Nurse Gift, please drop it in the comment section. So Nurse Gift, what about diagnosis and
diagnosis of PID?
Yeah, and
what are the tests that one can do in order to find out if he or she has PID? Number one is pelvic scan test. Pelvic scan test. Pelvic scan test will be able to show if a woman has PID. If the test is being conducted and you give it to any health personnel, be it a doctor or a nurse, there's what we call pouch of Douglas. When it says that there is fluid in the pouch of Douglas, that means the woman has PID. But when it says that there is no fluid in the pouch of Douglas, that means that the woman doesn't have any PID. So pelvic scan can be used to ascertain whether a woman has PID or not. Then another type of test to be conducted to know if you have PID is vaginal culture test. Vaginal swab test, rather. Yes, this test involves using something to try to know, to dip into your vagina to get your discharge, then it will be incubated for some time. Then it will be able to tell us if there is a bacteria that grew after incubation for like 24 or 48 hours. So it will be able to tell us, that vaginal culture test will tell us, okay, there is moderate growth of staph, there is moderate growth of chlamydia, there is moderate growth of candidiasis. Vaginal culture test can be used to know if we have PID. Then another test is laparoscopy. That is another test that will be used to know if a woman has PID. So if you know you want to check yourself, these are the possible tests you enroll to know if you have PID.
Okay. The last but not the least here is the prevention of PID. How can we prevent PID?
Yes. All these things we'll be talking about. We all know that prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
Now, what are the possible things that I should do so that I will not suffer PID or I will not contract PID infections? Number one, go for regular medical checkups. I will always say that. I will always be saying that. Go for regular medical checkup. Maybe as we are in 2024, right?
Yeah.
Yes. At the beginning of every year, it is pertinent you go. It's not when you're sick that you go to the hospital for checkup. Honestly, it's not when you're sick. You can just go as a woman to help yourself. To help yourself. You know, we women, we have delicate organs. For you to help yourself, at the beginning of every year, go to a good laboratory. Tell them, I want to run a general medical checkup on myself. To check, you can do this pelvic, you can do a routine checkup on your body system. No, it's not when you now get pregnant, when you now enter your husband's house and you start looking for children, you now know that there's something called lab test. No. Go for regular medical checkups, because when it is being found on time, the treatment will get faster, because there are some infections that are difficult to treat, that you need to consistently be on drugs for like 3 to 4 or 5 months before that infection thoroughly clears out of your system. Especially this staph. You see this staph? Now the oga pata of them. Now the HOD, you don't go take degree. Now HOD for the Department of Infection. You don't receive PhD, you don't receive BSc, you don't receive everything. I don't know which other qualification I won't give her. So if it is being found on time, it will be very, very easy to treat, and it will just go off immediately. Number one, go for regular medical checkups. And number two, auntie, oh brother, keep one sexual partner, Biko. So if you know where what is happening to you is coming from, Biko. Don't keep Emeka, you keep Josiah. Maybe Josiah is the one that gives you allowance. Then Emeka is the one that pays for your hair. Oga Male is the one that takes care of your house rent. Oga, and all of these people, you have sexual intimacy with them. That's so bad. That's very bad. It's good you keep one sexual partner. So if you're having anything kind of infection, you know that, okay, I'm getting this from this person. As I'm treating myself, you should also be treated. If it's your husband, you'll be like, maybe my husband has an infection. So if you're treating yourself, you should equally also treat your husband to avoid it coming back again. Because if after finish treating yourself and you still go back and collect it from your husband, it will keep on still recurring again. Then another prevention is personal hygiene. Yes, personal hygiene. As a woman, make sure you keep your pubic areas neat. Always shave. Always shave. Always shave. Keep your panties neat. Whenever you wash them, you sun dry them. Don't wear them whenever they are not dry, because there are little microorganisms that are still there when you've washed them. But whenever you sun dry them, due to the light rays from the sun, those microorganisms will be killed and you will not end up getting an infection. You understand? So personal hygiene is very, very pertinent enough. Clean yourself very well and keep yourself neat. Even when you use the restroom, make sure you clean up properly. And also, don't use soap. Don't use Dettol. Some people end up using Dettol. They'll try to make sure that it enters inside the vagina very well. you are killing the healthy bacteria there. There are healthy bacteria that in your vaginal region that helps to fight off infection. But when you're using the toe, I even saw someone told me that she's using what? I be hypo to wash. I be like, what do you want wash out? What? Nah?
Don't white.
I don't understand. You're killing the healthy bacteria there. Just use water, soap and water, as in use water to wash it off. It's already, God has made it that, in fact, that place is very, very pure. It is when you start having an infection, is when you start getting all those offensive odor from that region. But when you're not having an infection, that place should be neat and shouldn't have any offensive odor. So these are the possible things you should adhere to in order not to suffer from PID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nurse Gibbs. Let's also say a very big thank you to Nurse Gibbs. She has really tried. At least today we've known the meaning of PID, the prevention, who can have this PID and all that. And she has given us every necessary answer we need to know. You can save this video and watch it some other time on your free time.
Yes.
So today we'll say a very big thank you once again to Nurse Gibbs, and a very big thank you to all our viewers, our fans, Ijenwa Facility fans and all that. We wish to see you again next week, Friday, same time.
Yes, thank you very much, our anchor Chidima, for anchoring the show today. I hope you all had a wonderful time, and I hope you all have learned about PID. PID, yes. I hope you all have learned what it is all about. At least if they are talking about PID somewhere else, you'll be like, yes, I've heard about it and I know what it is all about. So thank you for joining us today. I believe you had a wonderful time. Until we come your way, same time next week for another interesting topic about your health. Remember to live a healthy lifestyle. I remember your humble girl, Nurse Gibbs, and Chidima. We are saying bye and do take care of yourself.